first of many,
Yes, sir.
keep going, keep improving, keep evolving, you know what I mean? So, hopefully we can get some viewers, we can, spark some ideas and, get some things rolling.
Yeah, we definitely will. We just got to keep rolling it out. Just got to keep
Yeah.
rolling it out. So yeah, let's get right into it. We let's see the Culture SSA. I'll start from my perspective as far as Salvador and Brazil and Bahia itself. Like how did I get here where I'm at right
Yeah.
now in present day 2020 pandemic world world scale
But
world scope.
let me ask you something. Let me ask you something first.
Yeah, yeah,
How is it now? Like currently, like, today, how is it? How are the streets? How is Pellerino? How is everybody doing? How is the city?
man. Pellerino is a ghost town, bro. There is
Wow.
nothing going on now.
Yeah.
Spray just opened his joint back up. He's trying to pull people, trying to get people to come back through.
Yeah.
Um, we got none of the street bands have come back except for the tambores and cordes that used to stand in front of what is that, George Amado. So they're back
Oh,
out there.
the big blue building.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So they back out there, and tourists are starting to come back. It's just Brazilian tourists from like Rio,
Yeah. Yeah.
BH, places like that. But like the
Yeah.
Salvador that we know, it hasn't returned yet, man. So it's crazy. But the city looks normal, bro.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like anything's going on at all.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say what's really what. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I tell everybody, man, everybody who asks me about Brazil, I just tell them, man, the people of Brazil are resilient people, man. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
sir.
It's gonna be hard to kill their spirit, man. They're original, because they are a loving, anti social distancing type of people. So it's gonna be
Yeah, for
hard to,
sure.
like, you know what I mean? It's gonna be hard to, to tame them, you know what I mean? So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens, in these next few weeks, these next few months with everything that's gonna go down, to see
Yeah,
how Brazil reacts.
for sure. Because they weren't having a social distancing. They had it up to a certain point. They were like they did the lockdown,
Yeah.
social distancing up until a certain point, and then they were like, you know what? We deal with death every day, so we just gonna party, and then if death comes, it comes. That's just how we're gonna do it.
Exactly.
Yep. Um, man. So
But
yeah,
yeah, man, I didn't mean
Brazil
to
is
cut you
dope.
off, man. Go ahead and tell the people how you ended up in Salvador, man. I
Oh
think you
yeah,
told me
yeah,
this
that's
story
right.
one time before, but
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't remember.
yeah. So man, this starts a long time ago, man. Back in 1997,
Yeah.
um, when I was going to high school, right? I was in high school and I was rolling with my crew. Everybody call us a gang. We just a group of friends who just hang out. Sometimes we get into fights and cause trouble, but that's what kids
Yeah.
do. Um, and then it got to a point, we had a big fight in the school, and the dean and the principal, and they was all like, "Yeah, you know what? That's enough. We had enough of y'all. Y'all too rowdy. We got to get y'all out of school." That was like the one day that my dad actually ended up coming up to my school, other than the day I graduated. I remember.
Is that the day you broke the glass window? You punched the glass window?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because
Yo,
I was mad at the principal.
he punched the glass window like it ain't gonna break.
Hmm. I
So
wanted to punch the principal, but I was like, wait, that would be a bad idea at this point.
Yeah.
you know. So that instant, that moment, got me suspended for sure and almost expelled. But my gym teacher and my basketball coach knew this guy, Jalon Vera, who was actually a capoeira master, um, who was in New York at the time. And what they did is they brought him in. And this is actually how Guerreros a Luz got started. Like this was the idea of Guerreros a Luz. This was a seed.
Yeah.
And they came and they're like, look, you guys are gonna do this capoeira class when you're not, in the gym. We're not in gym. You're not in class or basketball practice or eating lunch, or you get kicked out.
Yeah.
Basically, plain and simple. And I was like, yeah, I'm not trying to be kicked out of school. I'm not trying to be roaming the streets at 17 years old,
Yeah.
because that's just a bad look.
Yeah.
And so I started doing capoeira, man. And since I had the martial arts background and I had the dancing background, it kind of just like was like the perfect match. And I did it, kept training. I was dedicated to it. I ended up graduating in like the top 5%. I ended up graduating at all, which was awesome.
Yes.
And then a year and a half after I graduated, I started training with another group, and they invited me to represent the United States in a World Capoeira tournament in Rio. So that's how I got introduced to Brazil, and that just like
Yeah.
blew my mind because I was, coming out of the projects, coming out of
Of
Brooklyn, New
course.
York,
Of
and
course.
going into Rio, and I was like, "Oh, what is this? What is
Exactly.
this? What is this?" And I was only there for 4 days, so it was like a cold slap in the face with an ice box.
Yeah.
Um, so then when I came back, I was like, man, I got to get back out there. So like the following year, I went to school, and then it was my first year in school, and I went to my guidance, my counselor, and I was like, hey, look, I got this opportunity. I'm going back to Brazil. I'll be back. Don't worry about it. I'm coming back. I just need to go.
Yeah.
Actually, that was during that tournament. It was in the beginning of my first college school year. And I was like, I'm gonna miss orientation week, but I'll be back. I get it all, afterwards. So I came back after that, got everything straight. My guidance counselor was like, it's an opportunity that you might not ever have again, so do it. Um, and then the following year, I took what was left out of my college loans and flew back to Brazil
Yeah.
again. And then I stayed for a month. And then after that, it was over. It was like, yeah, I love Brazil. I was like, I'm gonna figure out how to live out here, whether get see or seen.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah, whatever it
Yeah.
takes, by all means necessary. Um,
Yeah.
so fast forward, I came back to the States after being in Brazil for almost 2 years. I came back, and it was 1999. Yeah, 1999. I think I came back. Or 2000. Wow, it's 2000, maybe 2002. Shoot, come to think about it, because the towers had already came down. Um, so when I came back, I was living my life in the States. Got married, uh, had my kid, and then 2007 we decided to move out, back to Brazil as a family because of the housing crisis in the States. So we moved out there, we moved back, and this time instead of going to Rio, we went to Montevideo, where you was at, and
Yeah.
we drove up the coast from Montevideo all the way up to Bahia. And then when we got
Wow.
to Bahia, we stayed in Ilhéus for a minute, and we was like, yeah, Bahia is it. So we stayed
Yeah.
in Ilhéus for about a year and a half, and then moved to Salvador. And then when I got to Salvador, I was like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. So yeah,
Hmm.
and now we've been here ever since. Me and my my wife, now ex-wife, we ended up getting divorced, and she moved back to the States. Now she's in Costa Rica. But I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, we came out here literally. Our idea was we came out here to be around African culture and
Yeah.
be in a more African based uh, place on the planet in the diaspora. And I was like, yeah, I'm not. This was our goal, and we're here, so I'm not giving that up so easily.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that's how I got to Salvador, man. And then after that, it was just like in the midst of trying to survive and do me and make my mark on the planet. And in Salvador, I ended up becoming who I am now. DJ Amar Mansour,
Yeah.
the Guerreros da Luz
The,
was born,
the
working
big
with the
homie.
kids. Yeah, the last king of Salvador or whatever, the new Zumbi.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, man, that's it, man. Now I'm
Yeah.
here, and we just working
Man, you
through
made
it,
a good. You made a good. You made a good decision, man, by going there, man. Thank God you was there while you was there, because I met you there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, I guess the segue from your story to how I got this, how I got to Salvador. I'm gonna have to start in Rio. I was spending some time in Rio. Around this time, I was on the tail end of my training program, what I was doing with Kingdom International. I was doing more teaching English, and around this time, I had started to paint. I had met this guy in Santa Teresa. He's like an old, well-respected artist from Rio, and I met him. He ended up living right beside me in one of the favelas, and we just got to talking, man. He just took a liking to me. I took a liking to him, and he just started to give me game on the art world, and I just soaked it all up. I think I was there like 2 months, and I just fell in love with painting, man. From there, I never really was into painting like that, but I kind of fell in love with it, through him. And around this time, I was kind of dating this Brazilian chick, and she had family in Salvador, and not South yet, Bahia, Salvador, somewhere, maybe the north of Bahia, maybe the north of Salvador. And it was Christmas time, and we were talking, and she was like, "Yeah, I think you should definitely know Salvador. It's a beautiful place, a lot of beautiful people, a lot of African culture." She just really sold me up on it, and she offered to buy my ticket to Salvador for, I guess it was a Christmas present or something.
Okay, that's a good look.
And yeah, and bought my one way to Salvador, and how I do. I don't never make plans. I just go, and yeah, I ended up in Salvador. My plan was to do an art exhibit, just to do an art exhibit with all my art that I had made while I was in Rio. And I mean, that was my mission while I was there, to actually just put on an art exhibit while I was there, and see if I can pull it off. And yeah, man, of course, I mean, I ran into all these different people, explaining my situation, explaining what I'm trying to do, and I ended up, meeting you, and what was it, Carnival?
Yeah,
we met during Carnival.
Yeah,
during
just before the carnival, just before it.
Well, one day.
Yep.
And I was like, "Yeah, man, you having a party during Carnival, man? Let me help, man. You know what I mean? Let me help."
Yep.
You know what I mean? I wasn't doing nothing anyway. I just wanted to get active, and and that's how our relationship started. I helped you with doing the parties, and and the rest is history, man. We started the Culture SSA shortly after. I think that started when you asked me to do your birthday party and to organize your birthday party, and I went on a mission, walking around Pellerina looking for places, and we ended up pulling that two party night off.
Man, yeah, that was crazy. The culture night.
Yeah, that was epic.
That was the epic parties, man. And that party for the carnival, man, that was a crazy idea, man. That was a crazy joint, man. 5 days straight partying, and we had the same 30 people come all 5 days.
I don't know how we pulled that off,
man. I mean, we pulled off the party.
I don't remember sleeping. I know I went to sleep, but I don't remember sleeping for real.
Yeah, we didn't actually really sleep during that time. I mean, we pulled off the party. We didn't make any money off of it. I actually think I'm still in debt because of that. But man, it was fun.
Yeah, I know. I went to sleep in the actual party one night. I think maybe the last night I actually went to sleep in the party.
Yeah, man.
Well, you were raised like that because we used to have the 3-day, 4-day feast all the time anyway.
Yep.
So
yeah, we did. I was telling Devin that we used to party in the street, partying in the house and backyard.
Yeah.
Raised at the pool.
Yeah. And mom taking me to clubs.
Right.
So how the Culture SSA, how we kicked it off, I think we really kicked it off when we decided to do the pub crawl.
Yeah.
And that started when, you took me out to Rio Vermelho that night, which is one of the best nights I had in.
Oh man. That was the one that we came
Salvador.
back at 3:00 in the afternoon. Oh man. I was like, yeah, we're gonna be back by 11 something.
No way.
Oh man, yeah,
That was crazy. So I was
that was
like,
crazy.
man, I had such a good time. I'm like, man, we should like package this up and like make it something. Like we went to all these different places. I mean, I'm sure I wouldn't be the only person who like would enjoy something like this. So let's package it up and just do it. Let's make it a thing. You know what I mean? Make it an event. And that was the beginning. Like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And we had success with that.
Yeah, we actually had a lot of
Yeah,
success with
man.
that pub crawl, man. We did a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah. So, man, it's just, it was a good experience for me because I got to see the other side. I got to see African people in a way I had never seen them before. I was used to seeing them like, the African American, our culture over here in America
Yeah.
is different from, what I mean? It's a completely different culture. And I was exposed to that, man. I'm forever grateful for that because, I can, now I can be the bridge, so to speak, to kind of like, to bridge the two, connect the two. Like, man, it ain't always like this, or it ain't always like that. It can be some middle ground. You know what I mean? We don't have to be so separated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's a big thing.
And I think it is, yo. And I think that's what the idea was anyway. Like for me, with the culture was just trying to bring people here so they can see another side, get a different perspective. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because all you can offer people really is just a perspective. You know what I mean? You can't really pull people's teeth and make them do certain things. You know what I mean? But all you can do is just show them. And if they choose, they choose. If they don't, I mean, that's on them.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
That was my idea.
Okay. Yeah. Speaking of
Go
perspective,
ahead.
why don't you tell everybody where you're at currently right this second?
What you mean as far as what?
Like where you at on the planet?
Oh, I'm in Richmond, Virginia right now.
Okay.
Where I
So
grew up.
yeah. So comparatively, what well, I know especially now like these times are just abnormal times. So this is you can't really say it's normally like this, but like what do you see or what did you notice from being out here and being from there? I'll talk about my perspective as well in a second. But what did you notice about like the differences um, between here and there and the similarities, if any?
Immediately, because I noticed the way people interact with each other, and I mean, in Rio, in Brazil in general, people are, friends more easily and more quickly than they are here. Here, it's hard to bust that bubble. We have a bubble over here, like you have to like penetrate somehow. But there, the bubble is not as is not as hard to penetrate. It's just people, they seem to be like first interaction. You think that they known each other for forever, but they just met each other, and I'm like, dang, y'all known each other before y'all known each other before y'all got here. And a lot of times, I noticed that in here, in the States, it's a lot different. Everybody's really, it's cliquish, and it takes a long time to make friends and, to bust that, that bubble.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, I had never even thought about that. That perspective in the States, we're like, okay, what am I here? In the States, we're always like, I don't know. It's like we're in a one man band in the States, especially I could say from New York because I didn't really experience too many other states as far as living, but like in New York, man, it was always like every man for himself, unless it's your crew, and then your crew is basically like your family. I didn't have I didn't have a bunch of friends growing up really. Everybody that was in my crew was somewhat related to me. Like everybody in my crew was a cousin of some sort from somewhere. I had like fifth cousins in my crew, and that's how we ended up being a crew. Oh, before I go on, I'd like to recognize Princess Sheppy from South Africa. She's on the show with us. She won't be able to hang out long, but she definitely came to check us out. We appreciate you.
That.
So yeah, man, it was always cliquish. And when I came out to Brazil, in Bahia, in particular Salvador, seeing brown faces for one, and then having them literally physically embrace me, like out of nowhere. You like somebody just introduce you, like, hey, this is Ahmad, this is Thiago, and Thiago's like, what's up, man? You like
automatically a
yo,
kiss on the
hold
cheek.
up. He like,
know?
wait, I don't know you, man. Why you trying to hug me? Come on, man, calm
Exactly.
down. And then after a while, you're like, okay, this is just how they are. Like they're
This is
like
this is how it is.
they're just warm people. And then like the willingness to help out here
Yeah,
is
man.
ridiculous. So somebody's like, oh yeah,
Bro.
giving you directions. They're like, oh yeah, you got to go here, 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 and then down there. Wait a minute, let me just walk you over there. And you're
Yeah,
like,
just exactly.
what? People will go an
Exactly.
hour out of their way the opposite direction to make sure that you get where you're going. And that's like,
Exactly.
one of those things that we as a people in the States need to pick up, like
Facts.
that communal responsibility and like the willingness to
Man,
help
it's precious, man.
the next man out.
It's precious. Cause you realize that like when you travel the way I traveled, how I did, my journey, which is solo, like yeah, it was a solo journey. Like you start to appreciate how you're able to connect with people because your life it's like survival. Your life depends on you being able to connect with people and talk with people. And a lot of times, in my case, I didn't speak the language, so I had to rely on just straight off vibe and like sign language and other forms of
Yeah,
communication
right.
because I didn't speak Spanish, and when I came to Brazil, I didn't speak Portuguese. So I'm like, you start to notice things like that, how easy it is to connect with people, and how willing they are to help you. You know what I mean? When you need help.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a thing, man, for sure. And I'm not sure if that's I'm not really sure what that is. I can't really put my finger on it, but
Yeah.
I just urge everybody to go there and just to see it, to experience it. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
a nice place, man, for sure.
Yeah, it is. Brazil is definitely a special place, and Salvador even more so, because it's our people. I think the statistic is like 85% of Salvador or 85% of Bahia itself is actually Afro descendant, and
Yeah, I heard that.
Salvador itself is probably about that much too.
Yeah, I heard
For
that.
people who don't know, actually Brazil itself boasts about 54% Afro-Brazilian, Afro-descendant population.
Yeah.
So if we were to put it on like a map, half of Brazil is black, basically.
which
And
is major, man. You think about that.
yeah, and then out of the other
Because you
half,
don't think about that.
no, people don't know. And then out of that other half of Brazil, 2/3 of that second 50% of Brazil is actually indigenous Brazilian. So
And
still is black and brown, and then like white-ish at the end.
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know, so and people
So
need to know that.
for sure.
What does
Yeah, man.
SSA stand for, Mark?
I think we connected for a lot of different reasons. You and I, we had similar stories, similar adversities, a lot of similarities, man. And I just in our stories, man. I think we connected on that, and you know, and man, I just want to go on record. I'm forever telling you this all the time, but I just want to go on record and thank you, bro, for like the way you took me in under your wing over there in Salvador, bro. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
it
no
was
doubt,
major,
man.
man. It meant a lot to me, bro. For
No
sure.
doubt. It was good
And,
to have it was good to have a brother, man. It was good to actually have somebody here that was like
nah,
a
for
brother.
sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Michael Cooper. You had a question. You wanted to say something?
Yeah, I wanted to hear what SSA stands for.
Oh, Devin, you want to touch on that? It's not.
SSA. It's just
It's
that.
not as complicated as
Yeah, it's
it
just
seems.
it's the airport code for Salvador. That's it.
Yeah,
Okay.
like
So
LAX.
yeah, it can be a culture LAX. It can be a culture wherever. It can be a culture whatever. The culture can go anywhere.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So yeah, the SSA just means the Salvador airport. Um, but yeah, that's it. Um, man. So back when things were going on, our pub crawl has started to grow, and we started getting to a point where we were going to be taking people over to Mojo de Sao Paulo. It was
Oh
going to
yeah.
be a 2-day pub crawl. I think we got one. What we got? Four. A group of 4 people once that actually did that. You know. So yeah, that was supposed to be big, man. That was going to be big,
Yeah, I think
and
I think we should have put some more. I think we should have put some more time into that. Put some more energy into that, man. Because that would have been major, man. You know what I mean? That would have been major.
yeah,
Still is a major idea, really. You know what I
yeah.
mean? It's a good idea, bro. Like for sure.
Yeah, we just need to wait for things to get flowing again.
Yeah,
Normal. We don't know what normal is going to be, but we need for things to get moving again and people start moving around, so we can start uh moving
yeah,
get the culture back up and running. I can't
yeah,
wait because this time what do we have that we didn't have before is we have experience. You know,
yeah. That's a fact.
we have the experience of actually having done it a few times.
Yeah,
So now when we do it for real, it's
it's
gonna
gonna be
be bigger.
crazy.
Yeah,
It's
man. And, people
gonna be
gonna be
crazy.
they're gonna be like, I mean, like thirsty to be out somewhere. You know what I mean?
Facts.
They'll be
Facts.
thirsty for it.
I think it's gonna come to a. I think it's gonna come to a point we're gonna have to turn people away. We ain't gonna have enough spots on the van or something. We're gonna have to
Hmm.
we're gonna have to cap it at 25 people or 30 people because we ain't gonna be able. We can't be walking out every Friday with a parade of people, man. I mean, we can.
Yeah, we can, but we can't.
Yeah.
You know, and what's crazy is that like the experiences we have with certain people. When sometimes we thought like it would be a great day. Because we had what was it that time we had I think we had 6 girls with us. And we're like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, this is gonna be great. And it turned out to be a mess. We were like, man, what is this? What's going on here?
It was a
Um,
nightmare.
yeah. Or the time
No,
we
it
just
wasn't
went
a
out.
nightmare, but it was
No,
just,
yeah, it
you know,
wasn't. It didn't flow smoothly.
yeah, it didn't go as good as it sounded. You know what I mean? If you
Yeah,
2 guys with 6 girls, like you would think that it would have been like a lot of fun, but it just, six
yeah,
girls from different places, they're hard to manage.
yeah.
So
Three, 6 girls in 3 different cliques. It was just like, okay, yeah, this isn't working. Uh, but yeah, then the unexpected ones that went very well, like the 2 guys from the States. That was a dope
yeah,
night. Uh,
we
man.
had another one. We had another like super dope night. I forget like who was it with though. It was a night we had like 11 people maybe.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah. That
remember that
was
night?
yeah. I remember that night. That was crazy, man. We looked like we was on
Because that
a
might have
field
been the
trip.
first night. That might have been the first. Yeah, that might have been the first night you came back from Switzerland because you had went
Yeah,
away.
yeah, that's
But the
true.
first pub crawl, you didn't you weren't there. We had like 11 people, but I think
Yeah,
when the first night you came back, I think we did those numbers again,
yeah,
and it was a good night.
yeah. And the great part about it
So
all is we was getting paid to party.
yeah, that was a hustle, man.
Like we would drink for free. We getting all the spots for free, travel for free, and still have money in our pocket when we get home.
I was paying my rent with that.
Yep.
I was living with day by day, so I was like, man,
Yeah.
I can pay for my night. I can, you know what I mean. But it was an adventure, man. I don't regret none of that, man. It was an adventure for
Nah, it
sure.
was
Like,
epic, man. It was epic. I mean, who could have thought? Who would have thought that 2 brothers from the U.S. from the states, two black brothers would come uh to a foreign country,
mm-hmm.
where their native language is not the language of the land,
Yeah,
and be successful in a business without, I mean, we didn't really have a business plan to start out. We just
No,
like the World
man.
Media
It was
Coalition Jazz Lovers Television Network. We were just like unrehearsed, one take. We just gonna go with it.
nah, facts though. It was just an idea. We went to the people. We went through your people to set it up.
Mm-hmm.
But it won't know. It didn't need to be. Sometimes it don't necessarily need to be, man. Just gotta understand it's what we want to do. It's how we gonna do it. Everything else, bro. Like it flowed, and we had fun doing it. And I look forward to getting back to it for sure. But it was it was epic, bro. It was epic.
Most def. And funny
So what's the
enough,
future, man? What's the future like? And what you got? What's the what's on the table for you as
well,
far as like
this coming weekend, I actually go back to Moho. So Friday I go to Moho.
you DJing?
Yeah, Pulsar is back open. So I'm gonna go there and survey what's going on. Actually, Moho looks promising, man, because our mayoral candidate that I was supporting, that also said he would support the cultural center in Moho, he actually won.
Nice.
So now it's time to collect. He was like, if I win, we're gonna support the cultural center. So what I'm gonna do
Yeah.
is I'm gonna make sure he supports the cultural center and like have him ease up on Pulsar because the last mayor had like a lot of taxes, was taxing the hell
Yeah.
out of Pulsar for no reason, like trying to extort them. So I'm gonna try to ease him up off of that, and see if I could get Pulsar worked into like working with the cultural center. So it kind of all makes sense. And then
Yeah.
you know, trying to make some partnerships with some of these posadas out here,
Yeah.
out there to do some massage therapy work, and
They need you.
also bringing people from the States and bringing people from Salvador out to Mojo and putting them in different posadas, trying to make that ching
Yeah.
ching, those
For sure.
residual commissions that we love so much
Facts.
out here. So that starts this weekend, and and I look forward to it. 2020 is about to start now. Whatever happened, whatever this time time thing that we spent over this past 11 months, that wasn't 2020. That doesn't exist. It was just like a
Yeah.
pause in time, a ripple
Yeah.
effect or something. Because it's been crazy. But I look forward to it. I think a lot of good things are going to happen this year, in spite of what the current situation and circumstances tell us.
Yeah. And I just man, it's been a man on to contrary belief, man. 2020 has been a beautiful year for me, man. Like from coming back and from what I've been able to do within this, quote unquote pandemic, starting from, starting the yoga teacher training, and
Oh
then,
yeah, that's
receiving
right.
an award. Yeah, receiving an award from the H4 Summit.
Mm-hmm.
And then, then I was able to, for the first time experience how it is to live, by myself, here in America. It was crazy. Just a lot of good happened to me this year. And now, the news that I'm going to be working with you guys on the Wakanda project is, it gives me, energizes me, but in ways you
Yeah,
don't understand. And
yeah,
man, it's been beautiful, man. I can't complain too much about 2020. I mean, I know it's unfortunate people are going through what they're going through, and I understand it because I also feel the effects of COVID, being out of, not being able to do what I want to do, not being able to gather people, not being able to train people how I want to train people, all these things that I want to do that, I feel those restrictions as well, but I can't complain too much, man, because I've been blessed and, I just, been able to move and maneuver. And I think I think I can attribute that to just being flexible, man. You know what I mean? I think it's important to just be centered and flexible and able to like move with whatever's going on. You know what I mean?
yeah. Well,
And
that's very important, man.
and yeah, bro. And it's just, for me, the Wakanda project is next. This December 20th. Can we talk about that, bro?
Yeah, actually, I just pulled up the flyer while you mentioned it. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna pull up the flyer. After that, we could talk about this. Hold on, I'm gonna just pop up the flyer so people can see it, because this is big, bro.
Bro, it's major, bro. It's major. And I think that it doesn't, it's hard to absorb and like fully take in what this means, but like to be able to connect these youth from all these different countries, bro, like it's definitely a major step in the right direction as far as I'm concerned. As far as my vision for what I want to see, my personal, vision, bro. Like I think this is a major step in the right direction. So that's why I'm super energized to be a part of it. I'm gonna do what I can to make sure it works and it goes and that it goes well. But this project, man, it's gonna be major, and I think it's not gonna always be virtual, man. I told you that, man. I'm like, man, it's not gonna. It starts virtual, but it's so many ways, so many things that can be from this. I'm just excited to see what happens, yo. And then we got DJ Amar on the ones and twos, just gonna be making the world dance. Man, you're gonna have the whole world dancing, man. How you feel about that? I can't hear you on mute, bro. Say something. I still can't hear you. Mm-mm. Can you hear me? Say something. Nope.
What's going on?
Got you.
You can hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Now let me try to share the flyer again and see what happens. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. I don't know what happened.
But you gotta answer my question though.
Yeah.
I said, how you feel about making the whole world dance during this event?
It feels good. It's gonna be dope. I
Yeah,
already
I was
know.
thinking
I
about
can
that.
feel. I'm feeling the feeling, and I'm in the vibration already. Like I'm already feeling the emotion of making my people all over the world dance simultaneously. Like I just
That's
think
crazy.
it's just gonna be ridiculous. Like and yo, I got an update.
What's up?
I got a meeting tonight about sponsorship.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
Yes, sir.
I sent out what you gave me. I tweaked a little bit, and then I just sent
Yeah,
it
I
out
mean
to a bunch of people.
that's what's up. Ain't no
So
issue. Yeah, man, that's major, man. It's gonna be big. That's all I can say. Like, you know what I mean? It's gonna be big.
yeah, it's already big, man. It's already big, and we gonna
Yeah.
make people dance and smile and have fun. And the good thing is,
Yeah, man, because we need it, man.
yeah, exactly. That's
We
what I was
really,
about to say.
we really need it though. Like, it's cool. It's cool to think about. Like, it's just a party, but people really need to move and like dance, bro. It's something special and something like beautiful about being able to just like to dance, especially with people, bro. I think it's gonna be special, bro. It's bigger than what we can see or what we can like capture on this flyer or whatever. But it's just like I think it's gonna be a big deal, man. I think it's gonna be really needed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm excited to be a part of this, bro. For real.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun, man. We're gonna have a lot of fun. We're gonna make a whole lot of people have a lot of fun. We're gonna make people forget that
Yeah,
things aren't exactly the way that we would like them to be right now. And I don't know how
yeah,
long we're gonna party. I don't know how long we're gonna party, but
man.
we're
If only
gonna
just for a
party to
moment, we
death.
good. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah,
You know.
but yeah. Um, what else? So let me give myself a plug right quick. So
Yeah,
like,
do that.
um, lately, man, I just been, since I got been back from Salvador. As you know, I was doing a lot of painting in Salvador. You actually have a lot of my paintings in your house right now.
Yep.
Um, um, but when I came back to the United States, man, I wasn't able to paint, man. I didn't have access to a lot of, paint and brushes, just materials in general. I was just kind of like on freeze. But as of recently, like the last month or two, as you see, I've been doing a lot more painting, creating my hat. I'm making hats. I'm making a lot of merch. I'm painting on wood. And I'm really excited about it, man, because, painting for me, just creating art for me, man, is therapeutic, man. And I really, could stand to do a lot more healing. I really just, want to continue doing that, man. I really want to just continue to be, creative and do and make art, man. You know what I mean? So
yeah, you got to,
I'm gonna
man.
urge everybody to go check out my artwork at on my Instagram and my Facebook page, and Public Riches, all one word, on Instagram. And I think that's it, man. I just wanted to get that out there.
Yeah,
You know what I
true,
mean?
true.
Nothing more,
And to whoever's watching the show, be it live or if you catch it later on YouTube, make sure you add us on Instagram. It's the Culture SSA. I hope at the Culture SSA. Real simple, the Culture SSA, like the
Yeah.
Culture SSA. So don't forget it. Make sure you add us and share it, and then make sure you come back and check out our show. We'll be doing these periodically, maybe every 2 to 3 weeks. We have a little extra information and something to say for you guys. Don't forget, because we're gonna, wrap this up a little bit. But don't forget that on December 20th, we are doing this Wakanda Festival. This is the big thing. This is a Pan African Youth Festival worldwide. So worldwide, like literally worldwide. And we may be getting some sponsors from some pretty big diasporal entities, maybe the ECOWAS, the Economic Coalition of West African States, some stuff like that. So, be on the lookout. Get your Zoom ready.
Major, man.
Get the speakers ready. You don't have to be sitting down watching the screen. Get your speakers ready. Turn the mugs all the way up. Put one in the window.
Right. Get your
Get your setup right. Put your live Instagram on your phone, and just do what you're doing. If you clean in the house, do it to the music. If you want to dance, dance. If you're just sitting around, just sit around but listen to the music. Just be a part.
Just dance, man.
Be a part of this. Contribute your energy to the happiness of our people around the planet.
Let's do it. Let's do it. It's for your mental health, man. Make it known, man. All this is good for your. It's good for your mental, man. It's good for your mind.
Good for your mental,
too.
And it was good for your mind. It's good for your physical, man. Everything's connected.
So, we should, we don't have much time. Maybe the next one we're gonna talk about. We'll talk about mental health, the state of mental health for our communities, and what we're going through. Because lately I've been a lot of things about suicide and depression and all these different things. And I think we need to address that, man. It's
Yeah,
not talked about enough. Somebody got to say something about that, man.
We'll address that. We definitely will address that. I think that
Yeah,
should be
for
the
next
topic
time.
of the next show for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
But for all y'all, yeah, I'm still doing that mixed Portuguese and English thing, man. And it's the little words too. I'll be speaking English and then it'll be like I say but I'll say mice and then keep going.
Mice.
And people are like mice.
Yeah.
What was that? So yeah.
What?
But for everybody that's watching, December 20th, 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. That's when the Wakanda Pan African Festival starts. What time it ends? Only the Most High knows. We just gonna keep
Nobody
going
knows.
until the last man. We're gonna go to the last man standing, basically. Yeah, and that's it, man. You know, I'm a flash the fire.
Man, we had a good show, man.
Yeah,
we had a good first show. What you think?
I think it was dope. I'm gonna flash the flyer one more time, then we're gonna take them out with the outro. That's the flyer. And we're gonna take you out with the outro. This is the Culture SSA, the Culture LA.
Yeah, I designed this flyer too.
Oh yeah, that's right. So anybody that needs a flyer done, Devin is the graphic engineer. All flyers and ideas, even my flyers that I make actually come from his ideas. So
ain't nothing wrong with it. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Right. So yeah, without further ado, man, thank everybody for watching the Culture SSA first episode launch. We had some technical difficulties in the beginning, in the middle, but in the end, we all got it together. All right.
We good.
We're going out with the original track, Get It SSA. y'all for coming out. God bless and good night. Deuces.